Hey, welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to show you how you can come up with some cool glitches, show you the foundation of how it's done or how I do it, and hopefully leave you with some information that can help you be a little bit more creative in your work if you choose to do so. So without further ado, let's get right into the video. So my foundation for sound design or glitches, what we're going to talk about today is let's make a Serum patch here. I'll just draw out an E note per usual. Let's drop it down a couple octaves. And what I'm going to do is just hop into multiband dynamics, grab OTT. Doesn't do too much. The first one, it makes the sound a little bit more crispy, but we're just going to dial up these bands a little bit to make the sound a little bit better. And then you're just going to go ahead and collapse these and start duplicating them. So you can do this basically as many times as you want. Maybe there's about 25 there. And you get some cool information afterwards. You can mess with the bands to come up with some cool effects, but you can always just fix it as well after the fact to make it sound a little bit less harsh if you need to in your genre of music. Now, one of the things that we were doing on stream today is we were messing with different parameters in Portal. Let's go ahead and get Portal, and if you don't have Portal, we'll try some different things in a few minutes. So let's grab Portal. Let's put this before our OTTs. Now, if you don't know, Portal is a effects generator basically, so it can take the sound and make different things happen to it to cause some different effects.
Well, duh.
I think it's considered a granular effects processor, but don't quote me on that. So default, it just makes the sound go from this to this. So it just adds a little bit of a wobble there. But if we dig through some of the presets in here, so let's try guitar and keys, maybe rhythm octaves. Kind of does something cool to the sound, maybe macro grins. So a lot of delay on that one. Let's try glitchy, maybe this fluid accumulator. That's kind of cool. Let's glitch it down, effects up. Kind of cool. And then we can actually tap this little tab here to get into some more parameters on the program. So if we want to mess with the speed, we could even just mess with this LFO curve here or make a whole different one. Let's humanize it. Our mod 2, let's humanize this one as well. Hop into effects down here on the bottom right and maybe change it from phaser to bit reducer. Find a tone that we like, and if we don't like the delay, we can do something else here, maybe some distortion. I think that delay did sound cool though, so let's pop back over to it. I don't think we need to mess with anything else here, maybe just turn up the release. And now, if you turn on all your OTTs again, you got some kind of cool feedback there at the end that you could potentially make a whole track out of with that rhythm. Now, if you don't have Portal, another cool way to go about this is to find a plugin that you like that's free. For example, Cymatics Origin is a kind of lo-fi-esque plugin, adds a lo-fi feel to your tracks. Again, without it, with it, adds kind of like a chorusy effect there, even though the chorus is turned all the way down, but that kind of that wobble that you would get with a chorus. You can mess with it here though, and then again turn on your OTTs and experiment that way. So how I would go about utilizing this is let's go ahead and delete these OTTs and start from scratch. Let's design a Serum preset here, something pretty basic, so maybe just an acid wavetable. Get a warp mode. I like the ASYM minus. We can add a little bit of a movement on that warp mode, something simulating a growl possibly, so something like this. Let's add a sub, direct out, modulate that level. Let's go into our effects, grab a distortion. I like the diode. Let's turn on our post frequency filter, go to high pass, take out the low end. I like that movement there. Let's go ahead and change our level all the way down, and let's get another wavetable that we're going to FM A2. So let's go ahead and get FM here. Let's grab a filter. I like the multi ones a lot. something like that's kind of cool. And then let's go ahead and add some pitch as well to make the coming information that we're going to process this bass to be a little bit more interesting. So let's close that window. We already toggled our pitch, so it should pop up in our automation here. And maybe we just want this to kind of go down and then level out at our root note. Let's go ahead and pop down an octave. That's kind of cool. And then we're just going to follow the same process to get something cool out of this. So pop in OTT again. We don't really need to boost these frequencies too much since there's so many in sequence playing off of each other. So again, we're just going to duplicate about 20, 25 of these. Let's group these together. Without, with, get that cool information at the end. Pretty basic. Let's go ahead and pop into our audio effects and grab something stock like a regular chorus. Put this before. Something that kind of just destroys the sound. Let's grab a corpus on top of that. I like to use this pipe down here, drag this over here, and then set our root note. I like to drop down an octave to C or E2. Spread up, opening we can turn down a little bit. Really just makes the sound a whole lot different. We can turn down our chorus, dry wet. So we're just trying to modulate the sound to be a little bit different, to have some different characteristics when it passes through our OTT chain. Let's go ahead and do one last thing and change our sinoid fold, or change our saturated to sinoid fold. Bass. Let's drag this afterwards. And turn on all our OTTs to see what we got. So here is with the group of effects. Here's the OTT in addition. Get some more cool information out of that, the more that these effects are spitting out, and then without everything. So it's a cool way to kind of come up with something. So let's turn both things back on. Let's go ahead and just freeze our track, flatten this. You can see the information that this comes up with. And now if you have a section of a song, let's go ahead and grab a loop of some sort. So maybe like a tear out loop. Let's tune it, drop it down. And now if we wanted a phrase to end with a glitch instead of a regular bass, we can go ahead and drag our glitch to where it needs to be. I like to change my mode to complex or tones. Tones is probably a little bit better for something that we want to preserve the high end in. So there's one variation. You can press Option and Shift on your keyboard to move this over. Reverse it with R, and then come up just with different things. Last but not least, if you want to make the sound a little bit different, what you can do is grab an inverter. This one's free. The interface doesn't work for me, but if you want to download it, it's on GUMROAD. But if we pop that on there, we freeze the track, and we flatten it once again, it inverts the signal, turning it inside out basically. So you get some cool effects like that too, albeit sacrificing some information on the sides there. So that's how I would go about using glitches and how I would go about coming up with them. Hopefully you're able to learn something from the video, and hopefully you're able to implement this into your own work if you choose to do so, or if it's something that you wanted to find. I hope you did find it and are inspired by the video. With all this being said, if you want access to songs early, to stems, and to monthly sample packs, make sure you check out my Patreon. The link is in the description, and it's also in my link tree. Follow me on Instagram there in the link tree as well at Probably Awake Music, as well as TikTok. And make sure you leave a like on this video, comment if you learned something, or if you have any further suggestions, and make sure you subscribe to the channel. But thank you for watching the video, and we will see you again on the next one.